The Broncos have a massive opportunity on Sunday against the Chiefs, and we are going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk with our guy, Brian Baldinger, and give an update on a very important player. We've got a little injury news about J.K. Dobbins. The whole show starts now. The Broncos can do something this weekend, Ryan, that no one in the NFL has been able to do in a decade. And I can't wait to tell you about it on the DNVR Broncos Podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. We are presented by Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. We got football back tomorrow night, and if you deposit $10 over at Bet365 after using that code DNVR365, place a $5 bet, win or lose, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets in your account. Man, we are getting closer and closer to this Broncos-Chiefs game. He's Ryan Koenigsberg. I'm Zac Stevens. We got Dion and you here behind the camera today. RK, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Sun always shines during a Denver Broncos win streak.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather today, tomorrow. I mean, it's beautiful.
It is crazy. It feels like still the end of summer to me.
Yeah. Winter can't arrive until the Broncos lose, so sorry, skiers.
And I don't think it's going to arrive on Sunday. So did you see Loveland Ski Resort opened yesterday?
No.
I think yesterday. And I saw a video of someone going up the ski lift. You couldn't see snow. There was no snow on the ground, yet it's still open somehow.
That's crazy. There's going to be like a lawsuit from the ski resorts to the Broncos.
Well, if anyone can pay that lawsuit, it's probably the Broncos.
Bring it on.
Exactly. So, Ryan, you mentioned it. Broncos 7-game win streak. If the Broncos beat the Chiefs on Sunday, and this isn't what I was referring to at the beginning of the show, but if the Broncos beat the Chiefs on Sunday, this will be the Broncos' longest win streak, I believe, since 2012.
Yeah, they won 10 in a row then?
I think 11?
11?
I think something like that. Something crazy. And that was just regular. Oh, well, yeah, it was only regular season.
Yes,
Sorry
it was.
about that.
No.
Because in 2015, the Broncos went on a 7-game win streak. On their way to Super Bowl 50. The Broncos are at 7 now. They did not get to 8 that year. So Broncos have an opportunity to do something that the Broncos haven't done in over a decade.
Which is why I'm just like trying to get everyone to enjoy this.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I don't, how could you be miserable during a 7-game win streak?
It's such a great question.
And again, like, it's cool to have conversations about how the team can be better, what we need to see from Bo Nix, like whatever. We do that on the show every day. But to be like miserable, which a lot of people are, while your team has won 7 games in a row, I just can't imagine, because like, if you're going to be miserable then what is even the point of all this?
I mean, we've been pretty miserable for rightful reasons over the past decade. Now is certainly not the time for that. Is it all because of Bo?
No, it's because people love points.
So it's the offense.
If the Broncos were winning every game by 1 point and it was 44-43,
yeah,
everyone would be ecstatic.
It'd be a blast.
But the crazy part about that is they would have a worse chance of winning the Super Bowl.
100%. We saw that in 2013 with the Broncos, and we saw it in 2015 with the Broncos.
Yep.
The number one offense against the number one defense in a Super Bowl. The number one defense won in 2013 and in 2015.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we just did the Denver Sports Podcast, and the conversation was which team is the closest to winning a championship. And I think it's fair to say the Broncos don't feel nearly as close as the Avs or Nuggets right now. But the big thing we kept talking about is like, if you were able to somehow get the 1 seed, then you just have to win 2 home games and you're in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
With this defense,
yeah,
I'll take that all day over a great offense in the playoffs. You're going to get cold games in Mile High in January. You got to win 2 of those. Give me the dominant defense. As painful as it is to watch Jeremy Crawshaw play so much every week.
You know, he leads the NFL in punts.
Yes.
The Broncos have punted more than anyone, yet the Broncos also have the most wins in the entire NFL. And Ryan, to your point, not only give me the Broncos' dominant defense, the best defense in the NFL, give me the best home team in the NFL. 5-0 at home this week. 10 straight wins at home dating back to last year. And by the way, yes, the Kansas City Chiefs did come into town in that win streak. Patrick Mahomes didn't play. But regardless, the Broncos still won that game. I'm right with you. And I'm happy that we're bringing the vibes up in Broncos country. And Ryan, I think everything flips with how this team is viewed this Sunday.
I mean, truly.
Yes.
Whatever happens.
Oh, gosh, you're right. Yeah, I was thinking just the positive side. But you're right. I mean, we think it's negative now. Please, Broncos, you got to come through because we got a bye week next week. We got 2 weeks to think about this game because this opportunity is massive. It cannot be overstated enough. And put aside last year's playoff game and last year's game when they had to beat Kansas City in order to make it to the playoffs because a playoff game doesn't equate. Regular season game, Ryan, this is the biggest regular season game. And sometimes I might say must win a little too much. I don't talk about the biggest game since that often, so I don't feel like I'm just blowing this one up to blow it up. This is the biggest regular season game the Broncos have had because of what it can do for them and how much it can hurt the Chiefs. So I said the Broncos have an opportunity to do something this Sunday that no one in the NFL has been able to do in over a decade. And what I'm talking about is you can essentially eliminate the Chiefs from winning the AFC West this Sunday. Not necessarily the Broncos win the AFC West, because unfortunately you have the Chargers right there. You can eliminate the Chiefs from the AFC West. And Ryan, since Peyton Manning stepped away after the 2015 Super Bowl 50 season, the Chiefs have won the division every gosh darn year.
Yep.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. They can make it end. So it's not including 2025 because the Kansas City Chiefs have a top 10 offense, have a top 10 defense, have a top 10 passing attack, have a top 10 rushing attack on offense and defense, yet they're 5-4. And we talked about, they did lose to some good teams. They lost to the Bills in Buffalo. They lost to another really good team, the Eagles. Exactly. But they also lost to the Jags. Like, this isn't a team that has only lost to the superpowers in the NFL.
You want to know why they lost to the Jags?
Why?
It's Patrick Mahomes threw a pick six.
Oh, was that the 99-yarder?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They can drop the Chiefs to 5-5. I think everyone in the NFL, everyone will be rooting for the Broncos outside of Kansas City. We'll be rooting for the Broncos this weekend.
I completely agree. And everyone is getting to watch the game. This might as well be a primetime game. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the map. I don't know what the other games are at that time.
Must be something in the Northeast.
Yeah, like right? Ohio. Based on what I saw, it was like a little pocket in like the Ohio area.
Yeah, because the Patriots play on Thursday night, so it's not that one.
Yeah, I mean you're getting Nance, you're getting Romo, and you are getting the whole nation watching and rooting for the Broncos.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing, and you could send the Chiefs to 5-5. More importantly, you can send them to 1-2 in the division.
Ooh.
And you're right. I mean, it wouldn't be 100% that they're eliminated from winning the division, but man, you would need a double collapse from the Broncos and the Chargers for that to happen. And I can't speak to the Chargers because I'm just watching their team kind of like fall apart one piece at a time. But there's no way the Broncos are going to win this game and then fall apart after that.
No. On an 8-game win streak,
yeah,
going into the bye week when then you get to come off of that and potentially play on Sunday Night Football. Really quick, because I've seen a lot of people ask about will the Broncos Sunday night game against Commanders be flexed? We will officially know the deadline for the NFL to do that is this coming Tuesday. So they could do it before, but they have to let us know by that game right now. And Ryan, I think you brought up a really good point when this was mentioned last week. This is a Denver Broncos. This is a team that the country wants to see.
Yeah, I understand the thought. I don't know what other games are on that weekend. And maybe if you had like a Chiefs-Bills, which obviously isn't happening.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like another matchup that would really be like, we got to get this in there. What was crazy about the NFL this year is there's not a lot of must-watch teams.
No, there's not.
I don't know if there's any.
No.
So I think the game will be fine. It's going to stay in there in that Sunday Night Football window because people want to see the Broncos.
They do. They do. And they want to see this defense. They want to see Sean Payton. He's obviously a big-time draw. And
I hope that we beat the Chiefs this week, obviously, and then just give the national audience the ugliest football game they've ever seen in their life and win.
Why do you want that?
Because I'm just tired of the way they're talking about us. I want them to have to suffer.
That's very, very fair.
Give me 2-0.
2-0. Wow, what a dominant defensive performance.
Game-winning safety.
Oh, my God. As time expires?
Sure.
Oh, my goodness. No, give me 44-10 because I want to see Bo. I want the slander on Bo to stop. Really quick, Ryan, just because you were talking about that. You talk about how there's not very many good games here. There are... I'm looking at the wrong week. There are, in week 13, you have, so only games, this is also something to keep in mind. The only games that can be flexed are the ones that are in the 2 p.m. window, Denver time. Oh. So I'm pretty sure that's the case. I don't believe 1 p.m. games can be flexed down to prime time. They can be flexed down to the 2 p.m. window, but not.
Really?
Now you're making me question myself.
I know nothing about this. I'm not contradicting you. I'm just surprised.
Oh, the also other thing with that is that's Thursday week, or that's Thanksgiving week.
Yep.
So you're not going to get any of those three games.
Those games are out.
And that's Green Bay and Detroit. That would be a good one to flex. Can't do that. You have Kansas City in that one. The games on Sunday. You also have a Black Friday game. That's the Bears and Eagles. So actually, you got 4 pretty good games in that Thursday and Friday.
So disrespectful to college football. That's our day.
It's really true. And yeah, in the NFL's now taking it over. So you have, I don't think there's a good matchup there that can be flexed out.
What are the options?
I'm trying to see if there's any teams with winning records. There's one game with teams with winning records, and that's Buffalo playing Pittsburgh. And that is in that 225 window.
That doesn't move anyone. The Broncos are guaranteed to be 8-3 at worst going into that game, with a lot on the line.
Yeah,
there's no way that's getting flexed.
Yep,
in my opinion.
I completely agree. And you look at that Monday night game; it's the 2-8 Giants against the 8-2 Patriots. They'll probably want to keep that one, and they'll probably want to keep this one. So Ryan, there's even more opportunities for the Broncos besides just putting the Chiefs in their own grave in this game. It can impact the Broncos even more. It can impact the Chiefs even more. Let's dive into more of these specifics. Plus, the locker room knows how important this game is, and we're actually going to hear from inside the locker room just about how important this game is after I give a shout out to our friends over at Omaha Steaks. Ryan, I had my Omaha Steaks delivered about a month ago, and I think my first 3 meals were Omaha Steaks because it's just so good. And you dive in to the chicken, which is just absolutely delicious. We did a couple different things with the chicken, but what's so convenient is it's just like, oh, I don't even have to think about dinner. Just what sauces do I have to add to this chicken in the crock pot? What sauces do I add to this burger that I've got? And then, of course, how do I make... Yes, they are. They are so good. Plus, what do I do with the steaks? Am I going to do it on the grill? Am I going to do it in the oven? And just absolutely love Omaha Steak. The quality is top notch. And during their Red Hot Sale event, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra 35% off with promo code Broncos. That's Broncos to get $30 or $35 off. Plus, the extra 50% off. This is an incredible time to get Omaha Steaks. So if you want to get in on the fall grilling, go to omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. And during their Red Hot Sale event now, get an extra $35 off by using that code Broncos at checkout. That's 50% off omahasteaks.com. And use that code Broncos for $35 off at checkout. See site for details.
Also, shout out to our friends at Common Spirit Health, athletes, weekend warriors, anyone who loves to move, and also just like competitors.
Yeah,
I love competitors. I just like competing with people.
Yeah, you're a competitor.
And if you're addicted to competition like I am, you don't want to get hurt and be sidelined from your ability to compete in things, whether that's pickleball, golf, bowling. Like, you just got to be, basketball, soccer, whatever you like to play to keep your competitive juices flowing. Don't get sidelined with an injury. And hit up our friends over at Common Spirit Mountain Region because they are home to an incredible sports medicine program. And it's not all about fixing what's broken. It's about preventative care, performance enhancement, and getting you back to peak condition safely and quickly. So don't let an injury keep you on the bench and stave you away from your addiction to competition. Get proactive about your health and go to mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Deposit $10, place a $5 bet, and you can get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose. If you bet on the Nuggets last night, boom, you're a winner.
I did.
Right there, whether it's bonus bets or not, you were going to win on them. They've got to be really damn good against the spread this year.
Yeah, I had an Avs against the spread, Nuggets against the spread parlay last night. That
Come on.
Was great.
Avs win
Nuggets
by 3.
actually kind of messed around with the spread at the end of the game. It was killing me.
Was it 9.5?
It's 8.5.
8.5?
And it got down to 8 at one point.
Oh, no.
And then Jokic hit a 3, and I was like, thank God.
He always comes through for us. And really quick, Ryan, because yesterday we were dealing with some heavier topics, we wanted to celebrate this today. Taco Tuesday was yesterday, and we're always celebrating it. Let's celebrate it right now.
All right, my friends, Taco Tuesday, and we're going with the crispy chicken menu this week. Right here, we've got us a little crispy chicken Frank's Red Hot burrito. Let's give this a try. Oh yeah.
How would you describe that in one word?
Ooh, I would describe this as flavorful. You got that crispy chicken crunching in there, and then you got that nice hit of Frank's Red Hot, which if you know me, you know I love Frank's Red Hot. Taco Bell, mixing it up with Frank's Red Hot in the burrito. That's fire. All right, they also have this one. If you like the idea of the crispy chicken burrito, but you're not in on the Frank's Red Hot, I think this one's got like an avocado ranch in there. Look, you can't go wrong with either one. I'm gonna go the Frank's Red Hot. I want that extra kick, but that avocado ranch is like smooth. It's got a nice avocado flavor to it. Happy Taco Tuesday, my friends.
Crispy chicken with Frank's Red Hot in a burrito. I mean, that might just be the best combo you can have.
You gotta try it. You really gotta try it.
Did you want to say who was recording that?
They're coming for Dion in the comments. That's crazy. That was his first Taco Tuesday. Give him a break.
I thought you guys did a great job there. So Ryan, getting back to this Broncos game, when it comes to the Broncos themselves in this game.
Wait, really quick.
Yes.
We got to make this quick because now people are gonna be mad at me that I distracted from Broncos. Tacos. Do you turn your head to eat the taco, or do you turn the taco to eat the taco?
Was this brought up by Cam?
This was brought up by Cam Scadaboo on a Twitch stream or something last night. Look, here's the thing, because he was saying like you got to dominate the taco, turn the taco for you. Pause. I just, if you turn the taco, you're gonna spill what's in the top of it.
Yeah, no, you're right, and in the back.
So you got to have respect for the taco. Turn your head.
Sometimes it's okay to be submissive, especially when it comes to a taco. I'll let a taco dominate me all day.
Wow.
I mean, if that's what it means in order to make it good. Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's move on.
Although Cam Scadaboo can't say that with his mentality.
That's true.
He has to lose half the taco.
He's just to stay on brand, he's dumping out all the lettuce,
and then
tomatoes, cheese,
and then he's just going in with his hands to get all the scrapes from the floor that fall down. Okay, so I'm not ashamed with what I said, Toyota chat. So Ryan, the Broncos, this is the one game on the schedule at the beginning of the year where it stands right now. This is the one game that the Broncos can show the country they are legit, have arrived are a Super Bowl team because right now, Ryan, the Broncos are tied with the best record in the NFL. We know that. They're tied with the 8-2 Patriots. They're tied with the 8-2 Colts. Yet you look at Super Bowl odds, which kind of tells you how the country's truly feeling about the team. And they're in the top 10, but they're at the back end of the top 10. I think they're right around 8 plus 1,400 plus 1,600. It keeps going up. People are starting to believe in them a little bit, but they aren't on pace with where their record is right now. You beat the Chiefs, that flips. And the Super Bowl odds are going to go sky high through the roof. But then also the country's going to say, this Broncos team is legit. They're going to say 9-2, and they're going to say, you just beat the Chiefs. Yep, you're legit.
The Broncos odds are dropping rapidly.
What is it?
Plus 1,800.
Wow. I swore yesterday or 2 days ago it was 16 or 14.
Yeah, maybe J.K.
Wow.
Dobbins.
That's true.
That's pretty wild to me, though. The Chiefs still at plus 550. And the reason for that, there's always a reason in Vegas, is because everyone's thinking like, oh, I can get the Chiefs at great value right now. Like they're 5-4. So everyone's thinking I'm going to go bet on them. And Vegas is saying like, no, you aren't.
And they're still the favorites, right?
Yeah, they are the favorites by a considerable margin, plus 550. Next is the Rams at plus 650. Next is the Eagles at plus 750. And that's where this opportunity for the Broncos becomes so large.
Yeah.
Listen to the teams that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Do any of these teams scare you?
No.
The one that scares me is honestly the Chiefs.
Totally. And if you beat them, they go to 5-5. Guys, right now the Chiefs are the 8th seed in the AFC. That means if the playoffs were to start this weekend, the Chiefs would be at home watching the games. And not because they're on a bye, because they are out of the playoffs right there. So you beat them, you drop them to 5-5. You help yourself out by maybe not having to play them or anyone having to play them. And you said second was Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew Stafford's on fire right now, and they do have some weapons, but hey, if the Broncos are going to go up against anyone and shut them down, or if the Rams are going to go up against anyone and get shut down, it's against this Broncos team with the pass rush and an immobile Matthew Stafford plus the secondary they have. And then you said the Eagles is third?
Yep.
Oh, the Broncos went into Philadelphia and beat the Eagles. They won't have to do that in the playoffs. It'll be a neutral site game.
Dude, so I just had to go look at this because I'm like, 1,800, man, that is high. I bet on the Broncos to win the Super Bowl before the season. I got it at plus 2,200. That was
what?
That was 8 wins ago.
That's crazy. The Broncos were at a 0 win percentage then. Now they're at 800.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is pretty crazy that the Broncos are 8-2. They're in first place. They are tied for the number 1 seed right now. And they have gone up 400 points.
That's kind of unfortunate for you.
It is unfortunate.
But it's great for people that want to bet on the Broncos right now. You can almost get in at the start of the season odds.
Totally. And we'll talk about the injuries here in a second because the injuries are unfortunate. But I'll touch wood before and after I say this. You still have dodged the big one.
Yeah.
As long as J.K. Dobbins is back at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, You've had injuries at key positions. And by the way, none of them have led to you losing a football game.
That's incredible.
Except for if you want to go back and say, like, Drake Greenlaw would have helped you in the first 3 weeks of the season.
That's true.
But other than that, like, you lost Ben Powers. You lost PS2. This is going to be the third game without him.
Yep.
So you've been able to sustain everything that's been thrown your way so far. Obviously, it's unfortunate that the toughest battle you're probably going to have to fight with injuries and the team all is happening at the same time where you're most injured against the Chiefs. But you want to be peaking at the right time. And that is still completely on the table. Like, this team could be getting its most healthy, God willing, late in the season.
Yep. 100%. That you're spot on with that. Whereas you see another division rival that we haven't talked about much today, the Chargers. Ryan, they have suffered injuries and guys aren't coming back. They're 2 tackles, maybe the most important people on this team outside of Justin Herbert to protect Justin Herbert, are done for the entire season. We have not seen that when it comes to the Broncos right now. And we will get into those injuries in just a second. But Ryan, why this game is also just so much bigger, and it can't be emphasized enough how big of an opportunity the Broncos have in this game, is because the locker room knows how big of a game this is. Talked to Nick Bonito a couple of nights ago, and he was asked just about how big this game is. And Ryan, he went further, maybe you and I even have. Let's hear from Nick right now.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a really important game for, I would say, both teams, honestly. We're trying to keep our lead in the division, and they're trying to, keep stacking these wins to get up there. So it's going to be a big game for both teams, and I know we're going to have a good game plan and be really excited for the matchup.
The Chiefs have kind of run the division for the last almost decade, really. Do you guys view this as a chance to kind of assert yourself, in the division and really in the AFC?
Yeah, and I said it the other day on Thursday night. This division's been run by the Chiefs for so many years now. So, if we're going to want to be that team to win the division and, reach the goals that we said we want, we're going to have to go through them and beat them. So, we're excited for the opportunity.
Because of that, Nick, is it a little more satisfying taking down Patrick Mahomes and this team in this game?
Oh, yeah. That's the guy everybody looks to when it comes to sacking the quarterback. He's one of the best in our game. So, for sure, I'm excited.
I feel like you hear national pundits say that all the time. Well, a division, until someone knocks the Chiefs off, the division runs through them. And it's right. But to hear that come from the locker room, from a leader of your team, from one of your best players, Ryan, that shows me that if they win this game, they're going to know that they're Super Bowl contenders. They're 100% going to believe it. If they don't, I don't think they're going to be too down because they're still going to be 8-3. But probably going to have that in the back of their mind, like, damn, we need to beat them and beat them in an entire season as well. Nick's not thinking this, that the division still runs through them, in my opinion, if they win on Sunday. Sunday night, he's thinking, this is ours.
Some breaking news happening right now that you can handle over there, and I'll talk for a second.
Oh, no.
And then we'll talk about what the breaking news is in just a second.
Wow.
As well. It does. And there are certain mountains that you have to climb when you are trying to get to a championship. There are certain things that you have to prove to yourselves to win a championship. And I think, the Broncos still have 2 opportunities in this season to beat the Chiefs. And it's not as if they haven't done it. They did do it 2 years ago. And obviously they got the win at the end of the season last year, which, I think it's fair to say doesn't count. But when there's a team that has been to the Super Bowl as many times as the Chiefs, when there's a team that has won the division as many times as the Chiefs, you just have to prove that you can beat them. You just have to do it for yourself. And once they get over that hump, like winning a close game against a good team was a hump for them to get over. They did it against the Eagles. Boom. 7-game win streak unlocked.
Yep.
You win this one, and a whole new level of confidence is unlocked where you say, okay, well, we can beat the defending champs or the defending champs of this division for 10 years in a row. And the team that has been to the Super Bowl however many years in a row. Yeah, if we can beat them, we can do anything. And so that's another thing of just from a mental standpoint, if you get by them, you feel like there's no reason why you shouldn't win the Super Bowl.
100%. You are spot on with that. And Ryan, you did mention the breaking news right now. Adam Schefter with it first. The Broncos, everyone wanted to make him a move at wide receiver last week before the trade deadline. Sean said, I'm just going to bring in an old friend back. Broncos are signing Lil Jordan Humphrey off the Giants practice squad. And according to Schefter, he's expected to play this Sunday.
Let's go. I love this. I love it. There was a weird amount of hate towards Lil Jordan when he wasn't here.
Yeah.
Or when he was here. And I think people started to miss him when he wasn't.
Yeah.
There are certain things that a Sean Payton offense does that needs a Lil Jordan Humphrey in there. And so, yes, people are mad. Like, why is he getting snaps over Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims? And you've seen some of those snaps go to Trent Sherfield this year. And actually, Trent, I thought, had his best game against the Raiders in terms of doing those little things, blocking on the outside and things of that nature. But when a guy's available who can do it and does it right and does it well, you go get him. He has a relationship with Sean Payton. He has a relationship with Bo Nix. And I felt like there was a missing piece with no Lil Jordan out there. So I'm excited to have Lil Jordan. He's going to do things that you might not see on the TV copy. But if you follow the all 22 guys on Twitter, you're going to see things come out the next the next day or the next day, 2 days, where you're like, wow, Lil Jordan, he just works his ass off out there.
100%. And people in the Twitter chat are saying, oh, with Lil Jordan, that means more screens incoming. Well, you're damn right, because it's a Sean Payton offense, and Sean Payton likes to run screens. But Ryan, the screens have been ineffective at times because the receivers that he has out there aren't able to block. And Sean has specifically said, if they're not going to do their jobs, then we're going to replace them. Well, Lil Jordan's about the perfect guy that you want to replace him with. So he is going to be that role that we've seen, and man, he's really good at it, and he's someone that Sean trusts.
Totally. I'm excited about this. It's there'll be a big play as soon as this week where you just say like, that's all Lil Jordan. It'll probably be Henry on the post-game show, like calling him the number one Bronco of the game or something. But because he made a huge block on the edge that sprung a touchdown.
Man, that'd be huge. That would be absolutely huge.
He's also made some like sick plays with the ball in his hands as a Bronco.
He has that one where he broke 3 tackles, I believe, on a 40-yard touchdown.
Was that against the Chiefs?
It might have been.
Yeah.
So welcome back to Denver, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Okay, let's welcome in our guy, Brian Baldinger, after I give a shout out to the delicious food over at Taco Bell. Ryan broke it down for us. Every single week when we do Taco Tuesday, I'm amazed at how there's just always new stuff coming out over at Taco Bell, yet they keep the classics as well. Crunchwrap, I don't think gets enough love on this show. It's my personal favorite over at Taco Bell. And of course, the new Flamin' Hot Frito Grilled Cheese Burrito. Talk about just the best. Another great combo. Spicy grilled cheese burrito. I mean, essentially what Taco Bell does is they just go out and they say, okay, what are the best combos of things? Let's put them all together.
What does everyone love? Let's do it.
Exactly. It's just simplistic genius right there from Taco Bell. So if you want to get any of this, plus the best deal in food, the $7 Buffs box, which comes with 4 Taco Bell classics and a player collectible cup for just $7. You can do that in Colorado. And of course, Taco Bell is a proud partner of CU Athletics, and donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored in 2025. Live Moss at Taco Bell.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. Man, big Coors Light weekend this weekend. I'm going to play. So Buffs are on bye. I'm going to play a new golf course on Saturday, which a crazy thing to be doing on November 15th.
Yeah.
But when the Broncos win, you get to play golf in November.
So true.
And so that'll be a big Coors Light day. And then, we got Sunday home game, which means we're doing tailgate, pregame show from the tailgate. We'll be doing the watch along here from the bar. And of course, post game here as well. Whatever you're doing this weekend, or maybe even today, if you're off work tomorrow, or maybe even if you're not, hit up our friends over at Coors Light. Whenever it's time to chill, make the most out of those times by choosing Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door, by the way, by visiting CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365. And I heard the chime, which means we got the legend, Brian Baldinger, joining us right now. Baldy, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, guys. It's good to be with you. Looking ahead here to Week 11, and your game Sunday, obviously, in Denver is the marquee matchup this week, so I'm looking forward to everything.
Man, we are too, Baldy, and we'll just dive right into that game. We talked about just how big of an opportunity this is for the Broncos, one of the biggest games that they've had in a very long time, and also a huge game for the Chiefs because they're sitting at 5-4 right here. At least I think this is an opportunity for the Broncos to essentially eliminate the Chiefs from the AFC West picture and title. Is this that big of a game for both teams?
It could be. I mean, honestly, if you win, you're up by 3.5 games on the Chiefs. And you've got, 6 to play. So, I mean, it would be a huge advantage. It'd almost be impossible to overcome. I saw Mahomes this past week in Lubbock at the Texas Tech BYU game, and it just so happened his bye week worked out with the big game that his alma mater played. But, he certainly knows what's at stake right now. They did not play well the last time they played. And so I'm sure that they're looking to get back on the right track. They won a lot of games in Denver since he's been there. But, this is about this year. It has nothing to do with anything that's happened in the past.
Baldy, what do you see as the key to this game for the Broncos when it comes to finding a way to beat this Chiefs team?
I don't think it ever really changes. Buffalo beat the Chiefs because they affected Mahomes. They hit him 15 times. They sacked him 3 times. And their offense had been like they'd won 3 in a row, and they looked like they were all the way back. And suddenly, when Mahomes was flat on his back from Joey Bosa or, Gregory Rousseau, whoever it was, I mean, they weren't completing a lot of deep balls. And so, I don't know what's going to happen at left tackle for the Chiefs, but it's been an issue. I don't know if Simmons is back now and his issues are over with, but, they had a Band-Aid over there and it wasn't good. And that's Nick Bonito's side. And I would think a big part of this is going to be the Broncos pass rush, which has really ignited this entire franchise over the last 2 years. I mean, they have got to get their takeoffs on against Mahomes. And when you can affect him, you can keep the score down and you can make this a very winnable game.
Baldy, is there any team that's better equipped to do that than the Broncos? I mean, you touched on it there, but when you say that's the key, and I see some stats that say this year when Mahomes is pressured over 25% of the times, he's 1-4, and the Broncos have the best pressure rate since next-gen stats have been available since 2018. I mean, does that say that the Broncos are going to win this game?
Well, I mean, you look at the last game. I mean, it wasn't an offensive juggernaut, but, I mean, Geno Smith finished the game on one leg. They were blowing protections, over and over again. I'm not saying the Chiefs, they'll be better. They'll be better than the Raiders up front. But, I mean, they couldn't, sustain any offense. Even after the interceptions, they couldn't sustain any offense. It's hard to sustain offense if you can't get your feet set to make accurate throws. They had, when they got everybody back, including Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, they looked like they were unstoppable, except if Mahomes doesn't have time, he can't get the ball to those guys. And so I think it's the key. I don't think there's any team better equipped. They've got 46 sacks in 10 games. Do the math. I mean, they're on record pace right now. I think all those guys are hungry. They've had 10 days to get ready. I would think that they're going to be as fast twitch as ever. And I'm sure the crowd will only help fuel it.
Baldy, why are the Chiefs and why is Andy Reid so good off of a bye week?
So Andy Reid, came from the Packers in 1999. I remember I went to his opening press conference and met him that day. I got to know him over the years, especially in Philly, and that's where I was, and did a lot of Fox games. He is the master of tinkering. Like there's like a lot of people have hobbies. They play golf. They do all these different. He doesn't do anything. His thing is you give him a pen and a film and some blank paper, he will come up with new plays. He'll come up with new plays. He'll come up with new designs. He'll look at what has worked, what hasn't worked. He'll figure out ways to get his team ready for things that he needs to say because he really is a great communicator to everybody. I don't think there's anybody at preparing better than Andy Reid. There's record proves that over the years, both in Philly and in Kansas City. And so that's what he does. He tinkers like late into the night. He doesn't need much sleep, maybe 3.5, 4 hours at the very most. Like he's thinking about game planning. You talk to Mahomes on any given Sunday, he'll tell you that there's 8 to new either plays or concepts that are in the game plan. And it could be a red zone formation. It could be anything. But he's constantly thinking about how to attack. And I think the players really feed off of that as well when they see that game plan this week for Denver.
So then Baldy's saying that since Vance Joseph has got here a couple of years ago, in the past 4 games during Vance Joseph's tenure as defensive coordinator, the Chiefs are averaging 11 points per game against the Broncos. Now, to be fair, the most recent one was when Patrick Mahomes didn't play. Right. So you take out that one, it's 14.5 points per game. That's pretty damn good. Do you think that's Vance Joseph having a little upper hand against Andy Reid, or do you think it's more so the talent that they've had on the defensive side?
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Vance. I mean, Vance does a great job, and it was a great hire. I mean, he knows how to game plan, specific. I've seen them with 3-man rushes, when everybody thinks they're going to bring the house. But, it helps that, I don't know what Surtain's status is right now, but it helps that, they have fortified this team. You can see what Greenlaw and what Hufanga have done for this defense. They've been able to retain, Zach Allen and sign, Bonito and, they've got the horses up front to get after you. And if there's a weakness up there, they're going to exploit it. And I kind of what I enjoy watching the most from the defense is how everybody celebrates everybody else's success. If Malcolm Roach gets a sack because Zach Allen got instant penetration, he's just as happy for Malcolm as he would have been for himself. And I feel like it's a very unselfish group, a talented group, and I think a coordinator that has everybody's attention.
So it's impressive. It's impressive what the Broncos have been able to do. But to get this one done, they're going to have to get production out of their offense. What is missing right now? What do they have to do to get this thing unlocked?
Well, I think that there's two things. I think, one, you have got to run the ball effectively. I mean, every offense wants it. They want some level of balance. So you don't want to put it all on the quarterback. You want to be able to run the ball effectively. They're dropping too many passes. I mean, they got to stop that, okay? And then I think every offense, basically their scoring is in direct proportion to the explosive plays. And you get a play of 20 yards or more on any given drive, your chances of scoring on that drive, grows exponentially. And so I think it's running the ball more effectively. It's making sure that you look the ball into your hands and do the proper things, catching the ball. And then I think getting your explosive plays. You're looking at 4, 5, 6. If you could get 4 or 5 explosive plays in a game, the chances of scoring in the 20s is pretty good.
Baldy, it seems like watching Bo recently that his footwork has just really sped up, maybe too much. It looks like he has kind of antsy feet back there, and maybe that's impacted his accuracy. Sean talked about it and said it's better to have that problem and have to slow everything down than have to try to speed things up for a quarterback. How easy is that for Sean to help Bo kind of slow down and just take a breath? Because we've seen him play at a very, very high level. How difficult is that to do mid-season?
First of all, I agree with the statement that Sean made. Because there's too many guys that play quarterback in this league. They think they're playing baseball. And they think that, I got 4 at-bats here. And if I get a hit on 1, I'm already like at 2. Or if I don't get a hit against the ace pitcher, I can get him tomorrow. And there's quarterbacks that think like that. They're just too lackadaisical. I'd rather have a guy that's speeded up, fast twitch, getting ready to throw the ball. And then, okay, let's back off a little bit. I do think he's extremely mobile. He is looking to create space in order to get, throws down the field to buy time. And so you can get ahead of yourself sometimes. The emotions, the adrenalines, all those things can kind of speed you up. I've heard that from Brett Favre. I've heard that from a lot of quarterbacks, especially when they start the game. They can start fast because of the emotions. So there is something that you have to do to sort of calm yourself and stay in the moment. Almost like a yoga meditation type thing to calm yourself a little bit so that you don't get too high or feed off the emotion too much or play too fast. And so you could just do what you have to do in order to make the throw like you make it on Friday afternoon.
Baldy, last one for me, and I would be remiss if we went an entire interview with you without asking you some sort of offensive line question. Quinn Miners gets so much love. Palcho's got a lot of love for what he's done filling in, but I feel like what Garrett Bowles has been doing has been a little bit underrated. What has he done this year?
Well, I mean, in the last game, you didn't hear. I mean, when Max Crosby was over there, you didn't hear his name, not once. So I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing that Garrett Bowles' name isn't mentioned. It means he's not committing penalties. He's not, putting them in a negative situation. So he's playing consistent football. And that's kind of what all left tackles hope. I think both Garrett Bowles and Wattenberg are highly underrated. I remember when Wattenberg was competing for the starting center job last year. And, he's a kid that kind of came out of nowhere. But he is a very consistent, good football player. And your offensive line is going to be as good as your center. If your center is weak, your line is not going to be great. It just isn't. You're going to have too much penetration. You're not going to get things done in the run game that you need to get done. I think both those players deserve a lot of recognition.
I love that, Baldy. And final one for me. Do the Broncos get this done? Do they go to 9-2? Do they extend their win streak to 8 games? How do you think this game unfolds in Denver?
Well, I think you're going to get the very best of the Chiefs. Yep. So you're going to have to see them at the very best. They've been rested. They've had 2 weeks. They got a week off. They know what's at stake. To fall behind 3.5 games, they know that's almost impossible to make up. So I think you're going to get the best of the Chiefs. I think the Broncos defense is the best part of this entire, whether Chiefs offense or Chiefs defense. I think the Broncos defense is the best. I don't know. I think it probably comes down to the final possession. Can Mahomes get it done again the way he's done so many times? Can they deliver the knockout punch, on Mahomes when he has the ball last, because I think it's going to come down to the final possession.
Man, strength on strength. I absolutely love it. Baldy, thank you so much.
Right.
Looking forward to talking to you next week.
All right, guys. Enjoy it, man. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, man, we can't wait either. Awesome stuff from our guy, Baldy. And what I'll say, if it does come down to that, typically the Chiefs are like the best in those situations. Not this year. We talked about it yesterday. They are 0-4 in one-score games. It sounds crazy to say, but that's just been the Chiefs' truth this year.
Man, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. It's Wednesday.
And it's awesome to hear from a national perspective. Baldy covers every team. He's really close with the Eagles. But for him to be like, no, this is the game.
Totally. I love this feeling, man. I feel alive.
Yeah, I know.
This is great. Thank you, Broncos.
I feel like the atmosphere is going to be like the AFC Championship game when you had the Patriots come to town and it was the orange out and it was beautiful weather because the Broncos were winning. And I can't wait.
I can't wait either, man. I'm just thinking about this watch along and how stressful it's going to be on there. You'll probably see me at my highest, at my lowest, all at once.
Yeah, that's very true. Make sure to come to the game, or come to the bar if you're not going to be at the game this week. Going to be an awesome time. Make sure to swing by the bar for every game too. Nuggets, Avs, we got it all. It's the place to be. And really quick, we do have people have been asking, what's a JK update? What is a Pat Surtain update? What's a Marvin Mims update? We got updates for you on all those guys. Let's get to those after I give a shout out to our friends over at Factor, where, man, I mean, really every time of the year is a great time to have Factor. Back to school, you're really busy. Summer, you're running around doing so many things outside. You want Factor. Winter, you don't want to leave your house, so you just want great food delivered to you. But especially right now, Ryan, you're going to be making big meals for Thanksgiving, for the holidays. You don't want to also have to make meals just to survive that Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to Thanksgiving. That's why you need Factor to come through for you, because not only is Factor so unbelievably convenient, it's sent to your door. You throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. That's all it needs. But it's also delicious, healthy, fresh food. What more could you ask for in food right there? And that's what Factor is going to provide you. Plus, they're going to give you 50% off your first box by going to factormeals.com/DNVR50 off, and then use that code DNVR50OFF to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for a year. That's code DNVR50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for a year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Ent Credit Union and the awesome Broncos debit card from Ent. You can see it right here. It's got Bo Nix on there doing his thing. And, man, we hope to see him doing his thing this weekend. But while you're doing your thing this weekend, go out and swipe your Ent Broncos debit card. And every 15 times you do that, which, that's one good night at the bars, you get entered for a new
one great night.
For a new chance at Broncos home game tickets. And that's not it. When you get those home game tickets, or maybe you just use one of your swipes to buy home game tickets, you're going to get 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field. There's no surprise fees. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card. Shout out to Ent.
Yeah, shout out to Ent. Shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. All right, Ryan, we got some injury updates here. Who do we start with?
I don't care because my mind just figured something out, so I'm just waiting for the end of the updates to tell you.
Oh, well, you just want to tell me now?
Nope.
Okay. Marvin, let's just start with some bad news. Pat Surtain, Ryan, I am told not likely to play. Doesn't mean he can't get healthy in the next 3 days, but I would be surprised at this point if he does play. We'll find out. Again, Broncos have taken the practice field right now. We'll get an update in just over an hour and a half, so stay tuned to DNVR_Broncos on Twitter for your updates there. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play, but I do still think he's trending to being back after the bye. So not putting him on IR was the right decision, and it's a bummer to not have him in this game.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, But you did kind of like buy yourself the luxury of doing this by winning the last 2 games.
Yeah, it's true.
It doesn't mean that this isn't a playoff game that you should pull out all the stops. But when you really boil it down to it and you say, like, is it worth taking a risk here? Because his injury is one that can be re-injured. You just say, like, no, like, we got to get him healthy. Let's be at our full strength. So, in my opinion, unless he's feeling 100%, you don't need to rush it this week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because I would love to say, yes, you do. But if I'm being smart, I don't think you do.
Yeah, I agree with you right there. So don't expect to see number 2 out there. If there's good news, we will deliver that tomorrow on the show. There is good news when it comes to Marvin Mims. Ryan, the Broncos released Michael Bandy, which opens the door for Marvin Mims to play on Sunday. I fully expect him to play. He started practicing at the end of last week, which is a very encouraging sign, shows that he is moving through the concussion protocol. I expect him to practice this week and play on Sunday, which is huge because in games like this, you cannot lose on special teams. And unfortunately, the Broncos have not been great on special teams with or without Marvin Mims, but certainly they've been worse without Marvin Mims. Having him back is going to be huge in a close game like this, and then especially on offense too. That's
what I was just about to say. He's also averaging 4 yards of separation per route run down the field. He's your deep threat.
Yeah. And
Troy Franklin's really fast too. He's part of this too, but the combination of those 2 guys puts so much stress on the back half of a defense. And Sean's going to have some stuff ready for Marvin this week.
I 100% agree with you. And we heard Baldy say explosives are going to be so key for this Broncos offense against the Chiefs team. Man, Marvin is that guy. And you tell me if this is good news or bad news, Ryan. Let me give you all the information first. So Henry and I really broke down in depth where we stood with J.K. Dobbins on Monday. Then yesterday comes around, and the only piece of news we get we get 2 pieces of news. The first one comes out. You can pull up the tweet from our friend Chris Thompson of the Denver Gazette. He tweeted, Broncos, I'm told they're considering what to do with running back J.K. Dobbins and his foot injury. I was told placing him on injured reserve is being considered. That second sentence, Ryan, I think just broke the heart of Broncos country. But then some good news. A couple of hours later, the Broncos made their moves for the day. They did not place J.K. Dobbins on IR. And remember, there's 2 big days to go on IR in a week. One is Tuesday. The other one is Saturday. So there's a couple of things we're going to follow throughout this week. Yesterday, it's really good he did not go on IR. And Ryan, if the Broncos were certain he was going to go on IR, they would have done it yesterday so that they could bring another running back up or sign another running back to have him practice all throughout this week, to have him for the game on Sunday. So clearing yesterday was a big hurdle. Will he practice today, tomorrow, and or Friday? We'll be following that this week and giving you that updated news. That'll obviously be a big indicator for if he's going to play on Sunday. And then Saturday is the other day when guys go on IR. And if he does not go on IR Saturday, it means he is not going to go on IR, barring a big setback, touching wood there, which I would not expect. So that is the other major hurdle for his long-term output. Does he go on IR on Saturday?
Yeah, and here's what I think needs to be considered with IR is if you go on IR, the bye week just doesn't count.
Yeah.
So that means that you are missing this game, you're missing the Commanders game, you're missing the Raiders game, and you're missing the Packers game. So you're not coming back until December 21st against the Jags if you do that. And I think the way that the bye week fell this year actually really messed with the Broncos' decision-making as to whether guys were going on IR or not. And so it may just be one of those situations where, like, man, we are in a title race right now. And so if we can get JK back by the Packers game, then we have to do it. And so it's interesting. But as it relates to JK, I had a epiphany during the break or right before the break. What does little Jordan Humphrey do best?
Block.
Blocks where?
On
the perimeter.
Yeah.
What does RJ Harvey do best?
Oh, he runs on the perimeter or catches the ball on the perimeter.
Yep. That's why they went and got Lil Jordan. Because they know they're going to have to run on the outside. Now, we would love...
That's a good point. Great point.
We would love for RJ to unlock his interior running ability during this stretch where we expect him to have to play quite a bit. But in the end, you play your strengths. RJ Harvey's strength is running on the edge. Get ready to see like a 1920s style running game. Sweep left, sweep right, sweep left, sweep right. Because that's what they do well. And they just brought in little Jordan Humphrey to help them do that even better.
And then especially this game, if you're limited with JK or if you're without JK, avoid Chris Jones too. That just might be a good idea. And then, so how do you avoid Chris Jones? Well, you go to the outside. You go to the perimeter right there. And this game, you can kind of build your roster around this game because you have a bye week the following week. Then you have a long week the next week until you don't play on Sunday night. So you can adjust your roster just for one game, which the Broncos and Sean are going to take every opportunity to do, and they clearly are.
Yeah, this could be fun, man. Yeah. I really hope that RJ reaches the next level here. If you go back and watch that Chiefs-Bills game, James Cook was running through some big holes.
Big time.
RJ can do that. And guess what? When he gets through there, he's gone.
Yep.
So I'm crossing my fingers that they're able to get him out into space and create some big holes from him because, look, losing JK is going to hurt. He was so good at turning something into nothing multiple times this year where it's like he's stuffed in the backfield, boom, jump cut, 3 yards, first down.
Yeah.
And RJ it would just be impossible to expect him to do that at this point, right? He's like still just getting his feet wet in the National Football League. But if you can get him some space, it could get fun.
It could get really fun. And the desperate part about the Chiefs, Ryan, just adds to even more how big of a win this will be for the Broncos because there is no doubt the Chiefs are the more desperate team in this game. You mentioned it. The Broncos have given themselves leeway to drop a game. You don't want to drop a game, but the Broncos aren't the desperate team. If they are able to give the Chiefs this big-time blow when they're the most desperate team, man, that's going to be huge, and Sean Payton knows that. And that's why he's going to break out all his stops. Yep. Any trick plays will come out in this game, and that's what's going to make this game so fun because both sides, Andy Reid's going to feel that as well, and Andy Reid did not go to the BYU Texas Tech game with Mahomes because he wanted to be dialed in for this Broncos game. How demoralizing would that be for the Chiefs losing this game when they're putting all their resources into it? So I think Sean's going to have some fun things dialed up for his new joker, RJ Harvey.
Yeah, I hope Mahomes was really living up that top 10 win on Saturday night.
And maybe our guy Baldy helped.
Yes, I asked it. I did my part.
You did your part last week.
He was probably over at Evie Mae's barbecue in Lubbock, overeating.
That having a couple more cocktails. Yeah,
they have free beer there.
Oh well, then come on, yeah. And if you're hanging around Baldy, I have to imagine those are going back.
Exactly.
All right, let's get to some super chats before we get out of here. First one coming in from Team Jokic, who says, "Hey Zach, it's Christian who emailed you earlier. Thanks for responding. Been a lifelong dream to intern at DNVR. Hope to meet you both this summer." Good luck there, Christian. That would be awesome to have you here.
Amen.
And let me know if I can help you through the process as well. Thanks for the email. And Rusty Cleveland, who is a Supporters Club member. Remember, that's such a simple way to support us directly. You just go to YouTube, the main screen of our YouTube. You can become a Supporters Club member right there, and you get a little icon there, which will upgrade as your membership continues to go on. And I actually saw some people in the chat had become Supporter Club members today as well. So shout out to all of you. We appreciate you. And Rusty Cleveland says, stats show the Chiefs play their worst this year when they face pressure from defense. I predict Vance Joseph gets a game ball for a masterpiece job Sunday.
I've had like 12 different feelings about the way this game is going to go just during this show. But one of them is just like, do you remember the Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
And Mahomes just could never be on solid ground. He's just running around the entire game.
Yep.
And that wears on you. Like, he has it in him to make, I would even say, upwards of 8 plays like that during a game.
Yep.
But if you have to do it every play, it's unsustainable.
Yep.
And there's a real chance that this Broncos defense could put that level of pressure on him.
100%. And I mean, you mentioned that when he is pressured 25% or more, he's 1-3 this year. When he's pressured 25% or less, he's 4-1 this year. And the Broncos lead the entire NFL since the start of the next-gen era with a 42.9% pressure rate.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, 26% would be a massive disappointment.
It would be. It would be. And that point's right there that the Broncos should win.
Man, I'm excited for
Yeah,
this.
I'm so freaking pumped. And I can't wait to continue to break this game down with all of you tomorrow. We're going to have some big-time injury updates tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned. Plus, we're giving our final picks. We will see you tomorrow at noon on the DNVR Broncos podcast.
God bless Bo Nix.
We all silly like the mayor.